if you would have said, oh, you're going to grow up and do fitness, we'd say, what?
And I saw an article where you guys said you were just hoping people showed up.
Oh my goodness. Now we have a class that's waitlisted. Like people want to get in and they can't get in.
Oh, there's not a lot that we don't have to talk about because we just kind of know where the other person's going to be.
How confident were you that the smaller size area would work for what you guys were doing?
We were 1 year confident. We signed a 1 year lease.
Yeah.
Beth Anne Kennedy and Ellen Cobb didn't just open a fitness studio, they built a community. Back in 2014, they launched Novo with a little more than passion, a few classes, and a question every founder asks themselves: will anyone actually show up tomorrow? Over the years, Novo has lived up to its name, changing not only how people in Columbus work out, but also how they connect. It's become more than a studio, it's a community that you can spot every day on cars and t-shirts all around town. In this conversation, we get into the highs and lows of building a business with your sibling, how they created a culture that people can't stop talking about, and what it takes to grow without losing the spirit that makes Novo, Novo.
Because we chose to open here in town, we knew a lot of people.
Right.
And so when we opened, I think a lot of just friends and family that we had started off supporting us, to be nice.
Yeah.
And so then the culture was kind of there because you're like, hey, I've known you 10 years, 15 years. And then those people, some of them stay and some of them go. And then it's just like, as more people came in, I feel like people just naturally gravitated in who were warm and friendly. And that's one of the main pieces of feedback that I feel like we get from everybody. It's just, everybody's so nice here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did see that a lot, like in a lot of the forums, like even on Reddit and stuff like that, where you like research Novo, that is like a consistent theme, like warm and inviting.
Oh,
it's
good.
like, I'm sure there are other ones too, but like that's the overarching goal. So
that was our goal.
Okay, so that's intentional.
Yes.
Okay.
We traveled to a lot of different studios.
Yes.
Not even necessarily before we opened, actually, but as the studio grew and we were trying to figure out which direction to take it.
Yeah, we did New York, Atlanta, Boston,
really?
Nashville.
Okay.
We would go to New York for 72 hours and we would take about 18 classes.
This was all her idea.
It's so fun.
Be like shells of humans at the end of this trip.
You're starving, you're like running, but your calves are giving out.
Because that's true. The other thing is that the studios are all over New York.
Right.
It's not like you're going to find them back side by side. So she would schedule these, but she'd have us on trains and we'd be going all over the place with no breaks. I mean, literally running down the streets of New York with our backpacks.
She did one of them pregnant and she's like 8 months pregnant. I'm like, let's go. We gotta get
coming out of heated classes just soaked and it's just all, you don't have time to change. It's time to run to the next one.
Like, how are you already sweating? You just got here.
Yes, but
that sounds like our family vacations. That's what that sounds like. Here.
Very strict itinerary. No time to eat. But in doing that, we found some studios that were super nice and welcoming, and then we found others that we were like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have come here.
Yeah.
And it's an intimidating environment, anyways, to walk in. Women, we're always kind of comparing ourselves to the person next to us. And am I good enough? Am I in the right place? And am I going to fit in?
There's mirrors everywhere. It can feel very overwhelming.
So our goal was just to make an environment where we could take an intimidating situation and try to make it as comfortable as possible for new people. And the community is what does that, I think. Obviously, we try to create an inviting space and we try to train our staff members to be welcoming and smiling and stand up to greet people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're walking into a room full of 20, 25 women. And if those people aren't nice, then it's not a great experience.
Yeah.
So when you go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean,
I
if you
defer.
like, this was around 2014, 2013, something in that area.
Yeah.
2014, February, I think is when we did
2014.
our soft opening. But obviously things have been in the works for a minute.
That research was taking place during or before you decided
a little
to open
bit prior to. So I was actually living in Nashville at the time before we opened the studio. So I was taking at a studio in Nashville. My husband and I, when we got married, moved to Nashville. I was pursuing my master's in social work and she would come and visit me. And so we would take classes at this one studio there that we loved called Releve One. And the owner, Amy, became a huge mentor of ours and played a very pivotal role in opening the studio because we had no business background. And so we got to kind of go under her wings and learn a lot of the business side of things of how do people sign up for classes? Like what equipment do we need? Where do we get bars to put on a wall? So prior to opening, we had taken in Nashville and Atlanta. Once we opened a few years down the road, then we did like New York, Boston, other big cities when we felt like we were kind of at a plateau and we needed to bring something new and fresh. We needed new methods. We needed new classes. We were like, let's go to cities where it's happening. You know, they've got all the things. Let's go there. So
that's so funny that you say that. We just talked to Hudson, who owns Animal Farm, and he said that that's what he does. He goes all over the country and eats at restaurants.
New York City,
figures out what he can
Yeah.
find there, what they're doing there, and what he can bring back here. So it's like this drive that you always want to be better than you are.
Yes.
Right.
And you always want to learn from other people who are doing things that either you're not doing or you're not thinking about doing.
And it's a balance because you don't want to lose where you started. You don't want to lose the foundation of who you are and the goals that you had for your business to begin with.
yes.
But you want to keep things fresh and evolving and growing. So
How confident were you that the smaller size area would work for what you guys are doing?
We were 1 year confident. We signed a 1 year lease.
Yeah.
1 year confident.
Our dad does contracts for a living, so he took that thing and just ripped it to shreds and was like, "It's 1 year." I don't even remember. I think we even had an out, like an early, with a penalty. We could break it at any time, kind of thing.
That's smart.
And it's not that he didn't have faith in us.
Yeah.
It was we didn't know what we were doing, and we didn't know how people would respond. The hardest thing for us when we first, I don't know if it was the hardest. One of the hardest things was trying to help people understand that this was not a big box gym. This was not where you walk in and it's a room full of equipment. And some of those places offer classes. So then people are like, well, I can go here for $20 a month. What's the difference? And so trying to explain this boutique fitness studio concept, they've got nothing to look at to see what that, we can pull ideas and pictures and memories from where we've traveled, and they don't have that. And we've got to justify $100 a month, I think is where we started maybe. Well, we started with $1 classes. We started with $1 classes, but after that, when they were going to buy a membership, then it's trying to explain that to someone who has no concept of the differences. That was really, really challenging.
Yeah, because we got people who came and loved it, and they were like, "Well, I'm a member at the Y, and it's $19 a month." And I'm like, "Well, we're not the Y. Let me show you why."
So after how many of those people that said, "Yeah, sign me up $100 a month," were you guys like, okay, I think this is gonna stick. I think this is gonna work?
We probably made it to the 1 year mark, and then we're at a crossroads, if I can remember. And I think from there we signed maybe a 3 year. It was still a small lease because we didn't.
I think we did a 1, a 3,
and maybe a 5. Just kind of slowly.
Small steps at a time.
Yes, slowly. And we did end up expanding in that original location. We were literally busting at the seams.
And that was out in Midland.
Yes, in Midland. We had the people with the goats, coming in and out of our parking lot, always very interesting.
Yes.
Neighbors. And but we were
Well, some people do yoga with goats. So, I mean,
right.
maybe
They do.
could
It's a vibe. Yeah.
It could work. So we had
I think that's for, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's for people that haven't smelled goats.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They're
I
there for the
apologize.
pictures. Looks real cute. But
yes.
They stink terribly.
Yes, they do. And worse things could happen with goats. So, but we had one studio room, and that just was not, we were, there'd be certain times in the day, like especially, we call them the middle of the night crew, but the people who come at 5 o'clock in the morning, that very quickly got full.
Yeah.
And then we were turning people away, but not really because they're paying a membership.
Right.
So then they're upset that they can't get into class.
Yeah.
So our landlord thankfully was very nice and we said, hey, can we bust out the side wall, kind of push out into the side parking lot?
We used the exterior of the building,
as
then
the
became
new
the
interior wall.
Okay.
And we built the side.
Studio B, a childcare room, and a second bathroom. So that was nice because you really need more than one stall for a bunch of women coming in and out. So that was great. But then we got stuck again because they were growing. We were growing. It was too many people for the space, and there was not another wall because we had Tractor Supply on one side, and now we busted into the parking lot. We can't come forward.
Yeah,
there's stuff behind us.
Yeah.
So
we've been in our current space 2 years.
Sure.
Well, no, we moved in when Leo was born.
Okay.
3 years.
So great. 3 years.
Okay.
3.5 years. Yeah.
So if you go back to 2014, and I saw an article where you guys said, like, basically you were just hoping people showed up.
Yeah.
Like, what does that feel like at that point And then looking back on that point.
Yeah. I think the hoping people show up is as real as that sentence sounds.
Yeah.
I remember us sitting at our parents' kitchen table.
That is the memory that just popped in my head too.
Yeah. With a laptop pulled up and you're like, I have 2 in class tomorrow. How many do you have? And it was truly sitting there looking and hoping and praying like, Lord, if this is meant to be, like, you're going to bless it.
Yeah.
And if not, just shut the doors and make it abundantly clear. And so we just checked and people would add and people would come. And then, oh my goodness, now we have a class that's waitlisted. Like, people want to get in and they can't get in.
Yeah.
And now we need to hire people because we have, a clipboard where people are writing their names on a little sheet of paper. We might need a better system. So just a very humbling time of like, we're putting everything we have into this and we're just hoping they come.
We got a lot of organic coverage, I guess. We had a magazine article. We had a newspaper article, but we didn't. You remember they could bring in the newspaper clipping and they got like 30% off their membership or something.
Okay.
So we tried to like play up that, but we never spent money on advertising.
Yeah,
because
to this day, we've not paid for advertising.
We've run a couple like social
Facebook,
media, we'll boost a post or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've never done an
Just
ad,
word
a
of mouth.
campaign.
Yes,
Billboard.
it's referrals. 100% is referrals, and that's why it went from 2 people to a waitlisted class.
Yeah,
so
Well,
people were
that's-
like, "Hey, you got to come try this with me."
That's like hand in hand with the culture building, though.
Yes.
It's like you empower the people that are a part of your fitness studio to like become ambassadors almost for it.
Yes.
So like, I mean, we're definitely going to talk about the branding aspect of it later, but you can't go hardly anywhere in Columbus without seeing a Novo sticker on a car or a shirt or something like that. And it's like, there are not a lot of brands that happens with. So you really have to get in a niche and like really be welcomed to have that happen.
Yeah.
So
we truly didn't do that by design.
No.
I mean, it was a hope and a prayer. Honestly, and hard work.
Work, the hardest.
We did not stop. If we had a spare second, we sat down and we were like, oh, we haven't seen this client in 2 days. Let's send her an email from us and check in. So we were very hand-holding with the people who did come in.
Yeah.
Made sure to make connections with them and build relationships.
Right.
I know your name. I know your cat just died.
Yes.
I know you're going to, Texas
Zimbabwe.
to travel or Zimbabwe, wherever.
Both.
Build those
That's a layover in Texas.
build those relationships with people so that they keep coming back. So there was an element of hard work, but we
and
really
sacrifice.
didn't know. I mean, still, we are still figuring things out.
So how, like going back to the beginning again, was there a certain time period that you gave yourselves? Like, well, you signed a year lease.
Yeah.
So were you saying at the end of this year or
we're going to evaluate?
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you
And we
have-
kind of took it lease by lease.
Okay.
And much to what she was just saying, I mean, it's a full family affair. Like, our mom and dad are childcare for the studio. They have kept every single one of our children.
When we first opened, my oldest was 6 months old.
Yeah.
He's 12. I've added 2 additional children to that for a total of 3, and she's had 2. So we went from 1 6-month-old baby with an entire generation of our grandparents who have now passed away. So it was like our mom and dad was working at that point, but then you have 3 extra sets of hands for 1 6-month-old baby. And now we've expanded that and lost a generation of people.
Right.
So, but yes, they have been the reason, I think, for the success.
Yeah, for sure. A huge part
of it. And so you
guys
being sisters, how does that play into decision making? And, well, let's start here. What's the con of working with family?
I think one of the cons is just when, like, for example, if we're on a family vacation, which we all do, like we all went somewhere in May. So if something hits the fan with Novo, like we're both on vacation and our family is impacted. It's truly like there are times that we have missed holidays, that we have missed birthdays. I have a very recent memory of us at her youngest son's birthday party at bowling, and there was a whole situation. She had to step away for like 45 minutes and take a phone call. And so I think we carry the weight for each other because we are sisters. And so, sure, there's times that like there's conflict. Yeah. But there's, I would say, more so of just like we're our whole day is then impacted as a collective because we are a family unit.
Right.
Because our business is nearly 24/7. Our doors open at 4:45 a.m. They close at 7 p.m. We're open 7 days a week. So downtime where your phone might not ring is about 7 p.m. at night to 4:45 in the morning.
Welcome to small business ownership.
Yeah.
Yes. It literally does not stop.
24-hour
So
job.
who is right most of the time? I'm just
She
joking.
probably
Usually
is.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but she is. She's really great.
She responds with emotion, and I try to come in with like, calm down.
Yeah. Logic.
And let's
rational.
just like, I'm a less feely person in general.
Yeah.
So there's pros in that for her, in that she will go and love the clients and hug them, and she's jumping up and down excited to see them, and you're just not going to see that come out of me. But
she feels it on the inside.
I do. I just so I think we balance each other really well in that. There was another con that came to my mind, and then it went away. Oh, because we are involved in each other's day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
As sisters, the business kind of sneaks in
Yeah.
where otherwise it might not. If I had a business partner and we had a sync up scheduled for every morning for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or once a week, we're going to sit down for 2 hours and hash out blah.
Yeah.
But she and I just organically will text or pick up the phone, or our kids will FaceTime each other. And then it's like, oh, well, let me fill you in on this.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you about
Oh,
that.
did you see this email?
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to place this order.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so the business is then like woven in and out of the day of the
Almost
night.
every conversation or
Yes,
interaction you have
it
is like,
is.
it's
Right.
back there.
Yes.
Even if it's not meant to be.
Yes.
Right.
So I would say then the advantage being the ability to like seamlessly transition from personal to business, and does that? I'm assuming that plays a role too in like the bigger financial decisions that it kind of, I guess it helps keep you guys on the same page as well.
Yes, there's not a lot that we don't have to talk about because we just kind of know where the other person's going to be. So these big decisions, maybe we need to discuss a little bit, but a lot of times I'll be like, oh, she can handle this. I know she's better at handling this. She'll handle it without me even having a discussion. Or she'll see something come through and she's like, oh, this is her. She's got to do the writing for this email and I'm just going to ignore it and she'll handle it. So there's
we
a lot
kind of naturally fell into our own
roles and responsibilities, but then we're also on the same wavelength because we've literally grown up together.
Right.
And so we just, that familiarity is really good.
Yeah.
A business partner, there might be more conversation there, maybe some tension with like, oh, I'm doing more than you or you're doing more than me.
Yeah. And we're able to be really honest and candid. I'm like, hey, I thought about this idea. And she's like, that's actually terrible. Or she's like, think you're onto something. I wouldn't do it, but I think it's a good idea, And so we've had things that have been born out of us just being able to naturally talk through them.
Yeah.
It is very helpful to have a sounding board. I have often said to people that I would not do it by myself because there are situations that pop up and I'm like, I could talk to my husband about it. I could talk to our mom or dad about it, but she's in it with me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to give all this backstory and try to explain. Whereas if it's her and she knows the client or the situation, it's going to be way easier to resolve it because I've got her there. So I can be like, am I totally off or should we do X, Y, or Z? So that's a big advantage.
I can kind of relate to like the natural, inclination of what lane you're going to swim in. I think we feel like we have that to a certain extent as well. We've known each other since we were like 11 or 12. So we've grown up together, but it's difficult. We're not related, but it's, it is the relationship there as to
My
who's
middle
gonna
child
handle
has blonde
things.
hair though.
Yeah.
And I don't. I'm just kidding. Weird.
Is there like structurally though for the business, are you guys 50-50 on the business ownership?
I think we are, but we have like different,
titles.
we had to have different titles.
Yeah.
And
I'm like the CEO or something,
Are
right?
you?
And you're a
Congratulations.
secretary, which is hysterical because she's like,
I don't know.
very-
I don't even know. We had to, when we submitted our business plan, we had to have all these roles.
Yeah.
And we
Right.
couldn't both be like co-owner. That's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
thing. So I'm not sure what our titles
we've
are.
been forced into a similar situation
It
by the
is what it
regulators.
is, like structurally, but like if there's something that comes up that is like a sticking point between you guys, is there a third party or is there a tiebreaker, or how do you approach that, or has there ever been that situation where you
Never.
can't come to an agreement?
we have fought with each
Yeah,
other.
like
often.
we've disagreed, but not like a foundational company thing,
Right.
Yeah, it might be I mean, I think it's just us being women and being emotional, and we'll get overly, like, truly, we'll get stressed, or like the kids have stressed me out, or she's got a sick child, or whatever. And then something happens, and it's like this conflict, and it usually resolves itself.
What people don't realize is we don't have designated work hours or a work area. Our work windows are tiny humans at our feet, and or we're at our parents' house with 5 kids, and they're running and they're playing tag and they're hunting monsters, and and we're literally sitting there like just doing stuff. And so those kind of moments can definitely be stressful, but we just got to like keep it going. We don't have time to have a whole issue.
If there is a situation that ever were to come up with where we just could not resolve something, we would probably go to our parents, because they have been
the foundation.
They are kind of the logic and the calm, and our dad is a great business advisor and is very creative with his ideas. Our mom can kind of talk us off the wall and calm 100%. Us down. So I would say we'd have a family meeting and let's just hash it out and try to get to.
And our husbands would be like, we'll keep the kids.
We'll see y'all later.
But so far, I mean, 12 years in, or 13, however many it's been.
I don't know. 11, 12?
I don't know.
Do y'all know?
2014 to now would be 11 years.
Yeah. Okay.
11 years.
Do we know?
Going on 12. But it seems like to me that, and this is what's been very helpful for us, is when you agree upon the general vision at the very beginning, which just the simple fact of you guys doing the research and putting your boots on the ground in the different cities, you already had an idea of like, we're going to build this, we're going to have a foundation that supports this long-term vision, and just execute on it.
Right.
Now, how you get there can be challenging, but I think that's the biggest thing is when we're talking about partnerships, like with the last podcast that just dropped, they can be very tricky, but I think the biggest key to it is making sure you guys are on the same page for what you want to do.
Yes.
The bigger picture.
Yeah, like the mission behind why we do what we do.
Then you'll figure out how to get there, essentially.
And we've kind of always had the idea in our minds that we're just going to do the best that we can. Like, we're both going to work at 100%, whatever that looks like each day.
In whatever season.
It's going to be different as the seasons have gone by, as the children have come. And I took on homeschooling my kids, so that was a whole shift where she had to pick up more. Her kids are younger, so there's times I have to pick up more because mine are older.
Yeah.
And they need less in theory. I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, I think that
the mission behind why we do what we do.
Yeah, but the work of 100%.
Yes.
Whatever is your.
Yeah, like you give your best today. Like you tell your kids, I need you to give your 100% today, sweetie, whatever that is.
And that was kind of our thought process from the beginning, is if we do that and it's not enough, we've done all we can.
Yeah.
But it so far has been sufficient to keep us growing and staying afloat.
Yeah.
Well, there's also an element of, like, when we talk to small business owners who open their own business, it's like a spark of passion too.
Yeah.
And so if you're devoid of that passion,
For sure.
it's probably not a great outcome.
Yes.
Like almost you want that to be the case, where you have friction maybe sometimes because you have an idea, because at the end of the day, you both have the same goal of trying to make it better.
Yes.
And so if you get to a point where that doesn't happen, maybe that's like a dangerous territory to be in.
For sure.
Because you just kind of get, rest on your laurels, I guess.
You have to have that passion to drive you to keep pushing during those hard seasons. We've had, I think this last year, we've seen a lot of interesting situations come up that even after a decade, we're like, where is this coming from?
Yes.
And it is that drive that says, okay, we'll just deal with this, and then we'll deal with that, and we'll deal with, and then you just keep pressing forward. But if you don't have that passion fueling you, I don't know what would make you persevere during situations.
Did you
like
guys
that.
have any business endeavors that you did together before you guys decided to start this
all
business?
the things? Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
We know of them. Yeah.
Have you seen them recently?
So they did a mystery agency in some of their VHSs.
Okay.
So we decided that we would have our own mystery solving agency
Nice.
and
For the neighborhood.
put business cards in everyone's mailbox.
You probably heard about us growing up.
Yeah, we did.
Really
Yeah.
well known.
And then once we stopped, and we did like
recitals.
we did dance recitals, and we
Performances.
charged the neighbors for that.
Okay.
They did pay and come.
They did pay.
Nice.
Yes.
We did movie rental.
I was about to
stores.
say I read about movie rentals and theme parks.
Yes,
maybe.
theme parks. But then as we got into like older elementary, like when we lived in Europe, and I'm sixth grade, she's fourth grade, we started babysitting. I mean, I'm like 12.
People think we're joking when I say I was 9 and I was riding a bus home with children children, and the mom had a stool out for me because I couldn't reach the counter, and she left me with all 3 kids, but 1,000%. We were full-time, like, employed at 9 and 12.
Yes. Lots of, and co-babysitting.
Yes.
We did a lot together so that we had multiple hands on deck. We could take care of more kids.
She could reach things I couldn't reach. Stuff out there.
Where do you think that started? What was the origin of that?
I think our parents, like, they are hard workers. Our grandparents are hard workers. We're hard workers, Papa and Gran. And Papa, what my mom's dad, was a big businessman.
Yep.
And so we just grew up around that. And then my dad, my gosh, like, such a businessman.
Yeah.
Bruce Bacon. I feel like everybody knows Bruce.
Yeah.
Bruce is just...
Shout out Bruce.
Yeah, shout out to Bruce.
Go Bruce.
But I think also that we kind of started our babysitting when we were in London.
Yeah.
And so we were part of like an expat community, and these are, in theory, trustworthy, kind, sweet sister duo. So you've got double the eyes
double
on the
fun.
Children, and you could just take the bus. Like, we didn't have to be able to drive ourselves to go get to the houses. We could walk, bike, or ride the bus, jump on a train if we needed to.
Yeah.
And these American families the parents want to go out on a date or go hop over to Paris for the weekend. And so here we come. So
hop over to Paris for the weekend.
Yeah,
we've all been there before.
That's a foreign concept.
Yes, it is.
Literally. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's, so we talked, the first episode we ever did was with Reggie Luther, who owns Iron Bank. And he talked about the concept of creating a business that, like, checks the box for that third space. So you got home, you've got work, you've got the third place that you want to be. And so, like, a coffee shop or a running store or whatever, you build a community around that. Do you feel like that just organically happened to you guys, that because I think a lot of people would say that you guys probably are the third place for them. And I don't know if you would agree with that or not, but just on the outside looking in, I've been in Novo a couple times because my wife teaches a class there on Saturdays, but I've never taken classes or anything like that. So I don't have that experience, but just on the outside looking in with the brand everywhere, with the online perception, it just feels like that's where somebody, if you did a survey, I wonder how many of your clients would say, this is my third place.
I think you only have so much free time, and women, we feel like we need to get our exercise in somehow. But if you could get your exercise and your shopping and catch up with your best friend and sit on the couch and have coffee, just knock it all out at one time. So I think, yes, it did happen kind of organically, but also as our space has allowed us to hold space for those extra activities. Because at first we really
didn't have room.
We had a couple benches in I'm going to call it a lobby, but it really wasn't. Minimal retail. Yeah. You kind of came in, signed your name on the clipboard, took your class and left. Maybe the people lingered in the parking lot or something. But now we have a space that is like, it looks like a living room in our lobby. And so you can sit and catch up. There's the full service locker room. So I think it's
the inviting of, like, come and stay a while.
Yes.
That inviting atmosphere.
There's a whole coffee bar over on the side where you can just fix a cup of coffee and hang out, shop.
Yeah. And we do hear, often, like, Novo has changed my life. Novo is the reason why I got through my mom dying, my husband battling cancer, my whatever. And, like, to this day, it is still so humbling to hear that, because we are Novo, but, like, we're not. It's our community, it's our staff, it's our clients. And so those things are not within our control. We can't control the people that walk through our doors, but the way that they make other clients feel is really impactful. And to see that impact that those people have, like, that people want a shirt that says Novo, like, still blows my mind.
The kids, anytime we're in the car, they're like, it's a Novo sticker. It's a Novo. But one time we were at our parents' cabin in North Georgia, and we're, like, hanging out, and we're walking around LJ, and I'm like, that's a Novo sticker. We parked beside someone with a Novo sticker.
Yeah, it is really, really cool.
Yeah,
that was
wild.
really, really interesting. But yes, it is still humbling every day when I see somebody representing us in some way. Like, the fact that they feel like it's theirs to be proud of.
Yeah, and they want to put that in all over them. It's really cool.
It is. It's really amazing.
So if we go back again, and we're going to leave the original like starting point, but I do have another question about that. Like when you started, did you have a runway or were you doing that? Did you have financing somehow to get this business started? Have you ever been in that sort of world, or has it always just been bootstrapped from cash?
I think, did we take a loan from
our parents?
Yeah. We took I want to say it was like $60,000.
I think less.
Maybe less.
30,000. Have you paid it back?
Oh yeah, we did it by the first year.
That's what we did. We didn't even pay ourselves
we
anything.
Worked for free.
We worked for free until we paid that original.
Yeah.
It may have been closer to 30.
I think it was 30, and it was paid back before we turned 1, and we were crying, and we were so excited.
We basically had to pay to change the space past what the landlord would do. But we didn't really have to front a lot of money in any other way because we didn't sell a lot of apparel or merchandise.
We were the staff.
We were the staff.
Right.
We were
the cleaners, the front desk.
We
the
had 12
instructors.
classes a week, and it was the two of us, so we didn't have any employees.
Yeah.
So every dollar that came in, aside from rent and power,
went to mom and dad.
We just sent it all back, and we were out of debt within a year. So that was really cool.
So what is the inflection point of saying that it's just the two of us, we're teaching all the classes, and now it's like creeping in our minds, like, should we hire somebody else? What was that conversation like, and when did you have that conversation?
We started kind of stalking the clients.
Yes. But I was trying to even think back to front desk at what point we were like, we're at max capacity. We got to get somebody up here.
Well, I know when we first brought teachers on, we still did not put anybody at the desk.
Really?
Yeah. The teachers opened and closed.
Oh, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They had to set up the room.
We hired 3 girls and they were all clients. So we're kind of like stalking the clients.
Yeah, like she's got good form.
She's got good
really
form.
funny.
She's got a great personality. She talks to the person next to her. She would be good. And then we approached them, and because of the design of the business, they had to pay the method creator of what they were going to get certified in.
Okay.
So that's
example. They're going to go teach Barre.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't train them at the time. We do now, and so we'd send them to Nashville. And Amy would train them.
But it's Susie's expense, not ours.
Yeah.
And she will get paid back for her class. She'll get paid for classes, and then she'll be able to make that money up. And so that was good for us because we didn't have to front anything to go and send her off.
So were they contractors at the beginning?
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are they still that
They're
way?
Still contractors.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All,
all of our instructors are.
Okay. So you're just basically 1099ing them at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then I think, and that to answer your question of when, it was when there were more classes than we could physically teach.
Yeah.
Because we
like,
were.
Hey, I feel like I'm going to pass out after my 4th one in 5 hours.
We alternated Saturdays, and Saturdays were 3 back-to-back classes. So if
you'd be eating a snack while you're doing the warm-up of the 3rd because your body was starting to like shut down from the inside out.
Yes, literally, you would just be destroyed.
We look back on pictures and we were like ripped back then. And I'm like, that's because we didn't have time to eat. We were running on straight adrenaline.
Yes, yeah. And we do our classes with the clients.
Yes.
There's other methods that are kind of group fitness.
Yeah, you walk around the room and you're like,
you might have like a timer or like we've taken other bar classes even where the instructor is zipped up in their like
little jacket
with a collar because they're frozen because they're just walking around counting and snapping and maybe like fixing your shoulder. But we're in it with them. And I mean, we're running the room to go around and make sure we mingle with everybody. And so, that was when it got to the point where physically we couldn't be there at all the times we needed to be there. And it was a lot to go back and forth too. So the peak times are like early morning, middle of the night, we call it. Then you've got your moms. They're going to drop the kids off and they want to come at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. You've got the lunchtime people. Then you've got the teachers who get out of school. They want like a 4 o'clock. And then you've got the after work people. They want to come at 5 or 6. So with the two of us trying to field those times.
And what's the average size of the classes?
It really depends on the structure of the class, like the class type. But if I had to just throw a number, I'd say 20.
Yeah.
Would you say that? Yeah. Some classes we could fit probably 30 and some classes probably need to be a little bit less. But I feel like most of the time we can get 20-ish. 20 in there.
So when you started, is that when it got to that point, you were like, we got to add another class. Like we got 20 people in here. Let's add another class.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
We would look for, is it consistently waitlisted? You know, is it like, gosh, this every Monday at 8:30, we've got this whole group of clients who are saying like, look, we're paying and we can't get in. So then, that's when we were like, we've got to hire people.
Yes.
I feel like that was around like after we had finished our first year, we had signed our new lease. We're like, okay, we're in it.
And then the clients who had committed to be members, they were like, hey, it would be really awesome if you would consider this time.
Yeah.
Right.
And so then
that's
we
how our
owe
schedule
that
grew.
to them to at least consider it truly and go, okay, well, would that be helpful? And so we would survey the clients.
Yep.
We have a private client Facebook group. And so we're able to kind of get really good pulses on them that way and then through Google Forms. But so then we would see, is there a demand there? And would they attend that class? And then do we have the staffing for it? So
I feel like survey of client populations is like a very underrated thing.
Yes.
Like a lot of business owners, I don't think take advantage of that.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because you get a lot of good ideas.
Yes.
We had a
and it
little
doesn't cost you
comment
anything.
box. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
We
with
had
a lock on it.
Yeah, a little I'm going to say shoebox, but it was more official than that. And they could
cute,
write,
and we kind of hid it.
They
so
could
really write their deepest.
write anything they wanted to and slip it in there. And we would comb through that and be like, is this something we can easily do? And if so, why would we not?
Yeah.
Like that's where lavender towels came.
What's the meanest suggestion somebody has left in the box?
I remember once somebody said I was loud. I was like, I feel good about that.
I can't remember mean comments as
it was
much
more
as
things
just
that we can't
do. Like even
Yeah.
recently, they're like, it would be helpful if you would widen the entryway to the. I'm like, you're talking about blowing walls down.
Yeah, someone just asked for a third shower, and I'm like,
Where are you
about
gonna
to
put that?
sponsor this?
Where are you putting it? Where is the shower? I can't.
Water hoses out back.
Yeah. So there's things that our hands are tied on, and that feels frustrating because I'm like, did you think about that at all? Like there are things I'm happy to do for you that I cannot do.
Yeah, it was more suggestions. I don't ever remember going through and being like,
That's mean.
that's mean. Yeah. It was either
That's
funny
great.
stuff
Yeah.
or suggestions.
Yeah.
Well, as you grow, as you add classes, and how many classes are you up to at this
About
point?
70 something a week.
Okay, so as you go from 12 classes to 70, how do you do that and maintain the culture that you talked about before that you wanted to promote, this warm and inviting feeling? And it's something that seems important to both of you. So you have to bring people on to like facilitate, they have to teach, they have to be at the front desk. How do you keep that consistent from 12 classes to 70 classes?
It's a big part of our training. Like we really hit heavy on the idea of rolling out the red carpet for the clients. Example, it's raining. This mom has 3 kids. She's getting out of her car. You're behind the desk. You see her pull up. Like you get up and you go. Like go help the mom. Or, little girl's crying. Mom's dropping her in childcare. She's running in teach class. And the little daughter's just losing it. And now mom's upset because mom doesn't know what to do. Like we go and we get the daughter, you know?
I just held a client's baby probably in the last couple of months who was just inconsolable. And I knew that mom was about to get out of class. And as a mom, I don't want to come back to my children and they're upset.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was a younger employee in the youth service room. And I thought, I bet I could put the mom whammy on this baby. And so I grabbed her and took her to the trampoline and she was out. So when the mom came out, she's like, where's my kid? I'm like, I got her. She's sleeping.
Yeah.
We're going to do that.
Yes.
And it is a part, we have a code of conduct for our employees. We didn't write that until maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Probably 5 years ago.
And so we make sure we go through all of that before we even hire them on. If they don't feel like the code of conduct is something that they can attain or keep, then that's not a good fit. And then we go through just kind of the Novo story and what we expect out of our employees. And if they don't feel like it syncs up, then that's okay. And it's just not meant to be.
Yeah.
And then as far as our instructors, they have a 6-month apprenticeship they have to go through that consists of taking classes, observing classes, learning things behind the scenes, getting their certification.
Really get into that culture. Mm-hmm. They're there, they're experiencing it, they're watching it.
And we are getting them up to standard. We are not going to have somebody come in. I think a lot of businesses in our field say, oh, check, you've got your group fitness cert from this online thing that you did in 2 hours. You're good to go. Or, oh, you've got your personal training certification. You're good. Come on. And we just don't do that. We're not going to hire somebody off the street. Most of our instructors are clients to start with. And then we're like, hey, you would be great. Mm-hmm. Do you want to audition? Do you want to take a test? Mm-hmm. Do you want to put your money in to invest in your certifications? If so, then let's talk about it.
It's a great idea.
Are
like
those
that.
contractors, is that a paid apprenticeship or are they just doing that before? Okay.
They get their membership for free eventually.
So some benefits. Some
yes.
perks to that.
Give them discounts in the boutique for like clothing and things like that. So
how many employees do you have versus contractors?
That's a good question. All the
desk girls,
there's probably 6 of them.
The other counting childcare would be like 22.
But
Really?
he's saying contractors versus like employees.
Like W-2 employees versus the 1099s.
You know, I would say we probably have less than 10 that are actual employees.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
probably just the
20-something
are all contractors. Yeah.
Okay.
That helps you to scale too, though, I would imagine. Because the onboarding or offboarding a contractor, much easier.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So as you scale up and down seasonally or whatever, that makes sense. And it looks like first, before I want to read a Reddit comment that we have uncovered.
Okay.
And we'll let the tension build. But so consistently voted number 1 for boutique fitness studio.
Okay.
You know, I think that's pretty cool because you got to think about, like, when most people think about fitness, like in my mind, it like the gyms, what are they called? What's it's I don't go. So anytime fitness.
I signed you
Anytime,
up tomorrow.
you know?
So
Yeah. Okay.
Anytime fitness, CrossFit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, kind of like the words that are in the zeitgeist of the culture. But for you guys to be, like it says here, boutique fitness studio and be consistently voted number 1. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, with no goats.
With
Right.
no
No
goats.
goats.
No goat
No
yoga
goats.
or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Goat
So
great.
that's great. So
And especially growing up in Columbus, like that's got to feel pretty good.
Yes.
Yes.
To be recognized at that level.
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't think anything like this existed until you guys did it, truthfully.
Yeah.
There was a yoga studio that I feel like was probably boutique-ish compared to your traditional gym or even like was a step up from a yoga studio. There's nothing, and still, honestly,
that does everything.
that does everything. So we'll have military clients and they'll move and they're like, where can I find something like Novo? And we just tell them, like, you have to find either a barre studio or
A yoga studio.
or
Or a trampoline studio. We have that one-stop shop that's really not common. Yeah.
because we just took the things we liked and put it all
Put them
together.
all
That's
together.
great. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, I
So-
was just messing. Oh, go ahead. No,
I mean, you talked a little bit about your grandfather, but like his involvement obviously in Columbus and like civic duty, do you feel like do you see any parallels there between you guys and kind of his foray into civic organizations and boards and things like that within Columbus specifically?
I feel like he invested in the community.
He did.
So while we're not a part of
So does Bruce. Bruce is on like 7 boards.
Okay.
yeah, hospice, mercy
Shout out Bruce
med,
again.
all that.
Let's go, Bruce.
So, but I feel like this is our way of giving back, and we kind of look at it as our mission field.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of places you can go and get a good workout. And I would like to think our workout is better. And
totally
But I think you could go like check that box off at a lot of places. And Columbus, since we've opened, has been inundated with studios, I'm going to say, or gyms, or even yoga places have popped up here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it's the giving back to the community that we have seen for generations from both of our parents and then from our grandparents.
Yeah.
And so I think, and our grandmother, my dad's mom, was like Miss Bibb City, and there's a whole little shrine to her down there.
Okay.
Go Bessie. So this episode is sponsored by the Bacon family.
Yeah. We'll have a little crawl on the bottom.
So yeah, I think we grew up watching, one, the values of hard work, but two, the reward that comes from pouring into your community. And so yes, absolutely, we get to do that every day with Novo.
Yeah. So now the tension has it built.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
For the
Go ahead.
Reddit.
The floor
you
is
going?
yours. The floor
Give
is
it
So
to
here
us.
it is. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
No, it's great. I'm just messing with you. Just joking. It says, members often describe Novo as warm, welcoming, and inclusive, even saying they see your hearts through your work. And I think that just beautifully just marries very well with what you guys were just talking about community. And, you know, in today's age, so many people, especially the younger people, are kind of grown up. It's not that they're disconnected from community, but it's through isolation, right? It's all connected on the phone, it's on gaming, whatever it may be. And there is an ever-increasing market for people to go somewhere and physically see somebody and be that third space.
For sure.
And but yeah, that's straight from Reddit. Didn't make it up.
I'm honored by
did not
that.
make it
Thank
up.
you.
How did you guys navigate COVID?
That was
bless it.
a whole.
Special time.
That was
We navigated it one day at a time. I think like everybody trying to take a step back, figure out what was going on.
happening.
What's happening. We have and had and still have our personal beliefs about it, but I think also honoring the clients
Right.
and their prioritizing them, what was going to make them feel safe, what was going to make them feel seen and heard, and all the things.
And we didn't know what we know.
Yeah.
So I think we all would go back and go, hey, well, did we respond
Sure.
in a way that was appropriate, or did we freak out?
Yeah.
Did you guys close at all?
We
Yes.
did.
Okay.
And
How long did you
maybe
close
not
for?
I mean, we went back and forth like, dude, is this the end? Is this God just shutting the door?
Yeah, totally.
Because that coincided with the end of our lease at our original location.
okay.
So, we battled that out for months.
We
right?
shut down for like 3 months
At least.
without
Yeah.
any.
Really?
Yeah, like
Wow.
our
We
landlord
sat
gave
at
us no break in
No,
rent.
that was rude. We sat at her
That
house.
was rude.
It was.
So
We were
was
like,
your-
hey, we don't have clients anymore. Did you want to help us out?
Yeah.
We sat in her backyard and started calling all our studio owner friends.
Wait, and you were sick.
Was I?
She had it.
Did I have it?
She had it.
Probably. And we're like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? And
Yeah.
everybody was closing. And
Yeah.
we're like, and there's our favorite studios in New York aren't there anymore.
Yeah, gone.
Like it literally
Really?
wiped
Oh
them
yeah,
out.
because they were hardcore
Yeah,
up there.
hard.
Yes.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
So we're
So when you have a landlord in a lease like that, are they telling you that you can't go in the building, or was that your decision?
that was our
decision.
We kind of surveyed our friends who are studio owners
Yeah.
and said, what are you doing and how are you handling
Well,
this?
I feel like we also surveyed the clients.
Yes,
and like
yeah.
they weren't coming.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
like this many of them that felt comfortable coming. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
like, do we want to pay you to come teach? And you might have like 2 people in
Yeah.
class. So we pivoted. We freaked out, prayed, pivoted. And it's kind of our pattern here. And then we were like, let's use this as an opportunity to grow. And so we kind of started this whole online platform in about 48 hours.
Okay.
We had thought about it
Interesting.
because we had military people moving. And
Right.
they're
Yeah.
like, where's Novo? And we're like, hey, we're only here. And they're like, hey, you should put your classes online so that I can still take them. But we had never been forced to do
Yes.
that. And now we were forced
Yeah.
because our whole community, maybe half
Where are you going?
would continue to pay their membership.
Oh, like a 4th.
You think?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to give them more credit.
No, I can think of a few.
few.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some of them said, hey, just keep drafting my account.
But a lot of people said, yeah, just pause me.
Okay.
And so we paused.
How long did that last?
a couple months.
Yeah, a few months.
And then when we opened back up, it was ridiculous the amount of modifications
Yeah,
we
bless
had
it.
to make. We had 6 people in a class instead of like 20 or 30.
Yeah.
We had them only enter and exit through the exterior doors so that it's limiting the traffic and
Yeah.
cross traffic between the 2 studios.
Hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer, temperature
Yeah.
checks.
Stupid.
Everybody gets their own bin with their personal belongings,
Yes.
which is then sanitized afterward.
Right.
Every room is thoroughly disinfected between classes.
We space out classes so there could be a 30-minute sanitization process between them.
Was there any thought ever that had like maybe we should do like a giant outdoor like
Yes.
class? I mean,
We
was
did.
that-
do that?
We did.
Okay.
We did 305
over
and the
here.
706 at the Trade Center. Yes. So we
Yes.
had a dance method at the time called 305. And so we did that outside during that time.
Yeah.
And we were able to have like 130 people come.
Yeah.
And
On a-
yes, that was
yeah.
great. And then when we did open back up, the clients were like, hey, can we just do parking lot classes? We're like, sure. So we bought a little speaker. So while example, she's inside spread out, then I'm outside teaching with our speaker
Oh,
and in the
interesting.
Tractor Supply parking lot with their mats,
With the goats.
waving to
With the
everybody.
Yeah.
And we used it as a huge business opportunity when we were shut down because we knew we still had bills to pay. So we
Yeah.
started renting out equipment. We rented out trampolines. The news came and filmed us. All of our clients did a whole parade and made "We love you" signs and drove through the parking
Wow.
lot. And
We did curbside like shopping because
yeah.
they're bored. They're stuck
so
at
bored.
home.
So they're
And so we're
spending
like,
so much money.
hey, let's just get on Instagram and put a bunch of stories up of stuff that we're
Yeah.
selling. And so
so
we
they would
started
come
Wow.
with their
Yeah.
little mask, and we come and give them their little
they would
stuff
pull
in the
up
car.
to
Wow.
the curb and we would bring their bag
Yeah,
out for them.
yeah.
They would buy even like bars, like protein bars
Yeah.
from us. Just something
Wow.
to try to like come
Community
by and
support,
support.
yeah.
Yeah, they were really, really great.
But because you gave them the opportunity to support you.
Yes.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of people would that's
Yeah.
it. Just close the door and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
You know.
We had to crank out so many workouts to launch the on-demand platform because once we got our web designer, who was amazing, to basically build this whole back end in like
Overnight.
24
Yeah.
hours.
We called her after we called the
Yes.
studio owners. We called her and we're like, hey, we need an online workout
By
library
tomorrow.
immediately. And she's like, okay.
So then we just went in and just filmed. Just
Okay.
boom, 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 boom,
So
boom.
how
boom.
did you do that? What was the process behind that?
Little sleep and food.
Little sleep.
Yeah.
We would come
just
in
went
and try to film back to back if we could.
She'd be in one
Did you
studio
film
room.
with
I'd be in the other.
iPhones, or did you have
We had
cameras?
iPads.
Okay.
And
Nothing super professional like this. We just had to like crank it out, get it up, uploaded,
And are you still using those, or do you?
Yes,
are they still up?
I think some of the OG ones are, and then some we have removed and
So do you
replaced with
stream
better.
your classes, or is it just
We stream 3 times a week, and
Okay.
then we upload 3 workouts
a week? Yeah.
interesting?
week,
And
so
is
the
that a
library's just-
different model as far as like subscription, or is that included
Yes.
with the? Can you do one or
You
the
can
other?
add it on
Yep.
for $10 a month, or
Okay.
if you're not
Or
a
you
client.
moved away, you can do it 20 a month.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you guys are able to track the metrics on that and figure out.
Yeah, I mean, it's
uses
a
and
sad
watches.
metric because you go from like every client being an on-demand member.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 400, probably upwards of 450
Yes.
clients, and it's been a steady trajectory
Because we
downward.
moved them all to on demand
Yeah,
during the COVID
so
days.
it's just gone like this ever since. But we've got a core group that's just hanging in there.
They are. But then our in studio has gone like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. The swinging of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's enough of an online presence that we're like, it's minimal effort on our
Yeah,
part.
for
And
sure.
the back
Yeah.
end's already built out.
Why
It's an
not?
extra service
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
those people who want it. So
Yeah.
we have clients who travel a lot or whatnot,
Yeah.
and they want to
Yeah.
be able to supplement their workout. So
So they can access it from phones or iPads or
Yes.
anything like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
We kind of experienced a similar thing. We kind of adopted Zoom for our client meetings before COVID, but then like when
Okay.
COVID happened, it sort of moved that timeline up a
Okay.
little bit. So we had clients that would want to come in and meet with us, and during COVID they would be forced to use the Zoom. And at the end of the call, they would be like, "I actually like this better. I'm at my house. I can
Yeah.
do this."
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like,
You're
"We've
in
been trying to tell
pajamas?"
you.
Yeah.
We've been trying to tell you this for years.
Yeah.
It's nice. But then there is a definite immediate
Yeah.
pushback after
Yeah.
COVID happened, and now
Right.
people want to be in person and
Yes.
they want to see you face to face and they
Yes.
want to shake your
Yeah,
hand and all
I,
that.
I don't know. It's interesting to see what the future will hold too, because I think that it's that balance of convenience and community,
Mhm.
Yes.
right? You know, it is.
For sure.
So it's very interesting.
that's what we heard from
yeah.
the clients. They were
Yeah.
like, this is better than nothing.
Yeah.
But if I could choose, I would be in the studio.
Yeah, like we love it, but it's not the same as in person, you know?
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to ask about was Novo, the name means change.
Yep.
What's the biggest thing that has changed for you guys from the time you opened the doors to now?
I think our I don't want to say our mission, but I guess our mindset has changed. When we first opened, it was like, we're about to show Columbus what a workout is. We are about to kick people's bottoms, and we are going to get these people in shape quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were young and very energetic and had a lot of stamina
Yeah.
and a little life experience. And I think a lot changes from your 20s to your 30s
Yeah.
and pushing 40. And I think now it's more,
that.
yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
But it's more about holding space for these people and creating this environment where they feel like they are strong in whatever way that looks like for them.
Yeah.
And that's not the picture that we had in our minds to begin with.
Totally. Yeah.
So people have limitations. They come in with physical issues.
Yes.
I mean, we've seen everything from knee replacements to scoliosis. I don't
we
even
have
know what
an
else.
incredible client who is hearing impaired, and her hearing aids cannot get wet with sweat. So she has to take them out before class. And she just did a beautiful post, but she said when they are out, she cannot hear anything. She can feel the vibrations of the music. She is coming to classes that are choreographed, that are 100% music driven. And the fact that she comes and loves it and she thrives is, I feel like if you had to ask me, like, what's the mission of Novo? I'm like, it's that, it's a place for her. It's a place for this person.
It's a place for the person who hasn't worked out in 20 years, and they're like, hey, my doctor says now I really have to do something, and they're scared to death to come in, and they're afraid, and they don't know if they'll be able to keep up. And our clientele has also shifted from like these young college kids to when we were younger.
Yeah.
There was like a draw for like 20-year-olds.
Yeah,
and
we
now
had a bunch of 20-year-olds.
I think we still do.
Yeah.
But more so, we've seen it swing towards more like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s.
People being health conscious, you got to keep moving. And,
and so it's more about just being healthy and being strong than it is of like, I'm searching for the hardest, like
hauling a tire down Main Street.
Yeah, exactly. I always say to the clients as we're jumping on trampolines, I'm like, you could be flipping tires. It's just fun to jump on a trampoline. And if you gave me the choice, I would be jumping on a trampoline all day long. And you can do that with no impact. Whereas if you're running, there's going to be, like, my husband loves to run, but he's got knee issues and now arthritis in his foot. And he's 40. He just turned 40, but it's the running constantly. So this is a good, anyways, that's a whole side note. But I think our mindset has changed. And what is the goal is not to just slay people and leave them in a puddle on the floor, but it is to make them feel empowered and strong and help them find the healthiest versions of themselves.
Yeah.
However we can do that.
So well said. Yeah.
Do you think your definition of success has changed?
Yeah, I think kind of along that. I remember back in the day, we were very, I don't want to say obsessed, but like super proud of, oh, how many calories did you burn? And like take pictures of that. And like, oh, take pictures of your abs, look so good, you know? And then now it's like, we don't wear watches. I don't know how many calories I burn. Most of the clients don't. It's just like, did I come and give it my all? And for me, what makes Novo successful is much of what we just said. It's the fact that the clients feel like this is a home. I feel my best here. We have done a survey. I think it's on our website, and X amount see a improvement in their mental health and their sleep and it's all of those other things aside from
we've had numerous clients come off medication that they weren't ever going to get off because now they're just healthier and they get that clearance from their doctor.
Interesting.
So, we've taken more of a whole body approach too. I feel like pretty quickly the clients were like, hey, what do we eat? And so then we're caught off guard, like, well, I don't know what to tell you. She was driving through Chick-fil-A every night and getting milkshakes.
Every night.
But we've now started doing it.
Those milkshakes are like 2,000 calories.
Yeah, I know.
And I had chocolate syrup added to the cookies and cream.
She leveled up a couple
with the fried
notches.
chicken. Oh yeah, so good.
So, and she was like, this big.
I was.
But that's why I was ripped. When you're 20. Coming in to teach her class with a large Dr. Pepper from McDonald's.
I taught with a huge soda at the front of the class.
It's that high metabolism privilege.
It was.
Yeah.
So now we've started doing an annual challenge with our clients where we look at all these other facets because we want our clients to be successful. If they only come and work out with us 3 times a week and then they aren't sleeping and their hormones are wrecked and they're driving through McDonald's and their job is stressful and they're taking all their medicine, it's not going to go well. They're not going to see the results that they could if they had supported their body from a big picture. So we've expanded our vision in that. And that's something we've kicked around, an idea of just like a wellness center would be a really cool thing one day down the road, maybe.
In 40 years.
I was just about to ask kind of like a decade from now, where do you see yourselves going? And you may have just tapped into it.
Yeah, we would love to have like a chiropractor and, a
pelvic floor therapist, acupuncture,
a nutritionist, everybody.
A juice bar.
Just get everybody in. So
bottomless mimosas on Saturday.
And
before and after the workout.
I think we have changed. She's always been very health conscious, I feel like, more so than me. And then in the last 5 years, I've done a 180 with just my lifestyle. And so I feel like that has bled into the business because we are the ones driving the business. And so we have really taken on that holistic approach of just meeting clients with all of their needs, from hormones to nutrition to everything. And so that's in the back of our heads. I'm like, it'd be so cool because I'm telling them they need to go here for craniosacral therapy. They need to go here for a chiropractor if we just had all of that under one roof.
And it's being realistic too with people, because when you're taking that whole body, health conscious approach, it's more realistic to where people are actually at in their lives, not the YouTubers and the Instagrammers that are 23 and they have the youth on their side
for sure
that you don't always have.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you don't need a chiropractor when you're 20.
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah.
And again, it goes back to the community side of it. I mean, we've even tossed that idea around ourselves with having everything in one place. So in addition to financial planning, you have CPAs, you have people that know your whole situation. And so you can take it and apply that to different industries.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's all about the community at the end of the day. Your people have to be your people, and they have to know that they're your people.
Right. Yes.
Otherwise, you have no identity.
Yeah.
And you cannot be successful no matter what business you're in. You cannot be successful without people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to have people. Common theme.
Common theme.
Common theme.
Yeah. I mean, what if you had to give somebody advice, if somebody is wanting to start something, if they're back where you guys were back in 2014 or whenever you were there, like what would your advice be? How would you do things differently now, looking back on then?
I don't know that we would necessarily do anything differently. I think I would say don't box yourself in. You know, she went to school to be an English teacher, and she was at Calvary for a little bit. I moved to Tennessee for my master's in social work, and neither of us had any business background. And the Lord, through a series of events, was like, hey, you and your husband are going to move back home. We had a home in Nashville, but no plans of, coming here. And so we had the idea of like what we were going to do and what they were going to do. And then the Lord was like, whoop. And so here we go. And so I think just being open to receiving, I remember as kids, kind of like we mentioned earlier, we loved music, we loved singing, we loved dancing, but like we were not dancers. We were not athletes. People think all the time that she's a ballerina and I'm like a gymnast from how we're built. And I'm like, no and no. And so in our heads, we never, ever would have imagined if he would have said, oh, you're going to grow up and do fitness. We'd say, what? It's just, I think kind of we put out in our minds, this box of what we're going to do because it feels right or it just fits or maybe it's more convenient, maybe it's easier, maybe it's not as scary. But I think don't box yourself in and look at what are your passions, because music, serving, dance.
Well,
fitness.
we joke that she still does social work because she'll be, it's okay.
I'm the one with the client 1 hour after class.
Right.
Giving her
and
therapy.
I still teach. Yes. So it all works out. But I think doing that, and then also if you're going to branch out, I would choose a location that you're familiar with. Because we did throw around like, what if I go up to Nashville?
Yeah.
And then we thought, well, they have it and Columbus doesn't.
Yeah.
So you do want to make sure you're meeting a need with this venture that you're taking, because otherwise it's probably not going to work out. So identifying a need, and then can you solve a problem with it?
Yeah.
Is it something that people will deem a necessity?
Yeah.
And not a luxury?
Yeah.
So,
and how important is it to have somebody who is kind of ahead of you at a certain extent that you can rely on? Like you said, you guys have a mentor, to bounce ideas off of, or, that's in that industry that you're in.
I think it's so crucial because you don't know what you don't know. Right. And whether that's ordering supplies or a client situation or the next steps that you can take to advance and to grow. And so having that person who has those years extra that you don't have is just really, really important, and was super foundational.
We had 2 mentors too, because we worked with Kimberly too.
Yeah.
So we had 2 different people that we kind of at different phases went back to.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool.
That's great.
Well, we're coming up on time. I don't want to keep you guys, but I appreciate you coming and kind of sharing your story with us. And
thank you.
Thanks for
having
having
us. Great to hear.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Glad
we're
we got
going to do
this.
a push-up contest when the cameras go off.
Absolutely.
We will not tell you who wins. No, but it was great having you guys. Wonderful story.
Thank you.
And very positive. So
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank y'all.
Thanks for hanging out again with us for another episode of Fountain City Founders, where we sit down with business owners and entrepreneurs of all sizes that have made a positive impact in their community.
Yeah, and so away from the podcast, Matt and I run Momentum Wealth. It's a boutique firm where people come to us for one of 3 reasons, really. They want help with investments, they want to feel confident in retirement, or they just have a big financial decision that they don't necessarily want to make alone.
Yep, and if you're nodding your head to any of that, you're not alone. We help business owners, families, and individuals alike be the most successful they can be in their finances.
Yeah, so visit us at momentumwealth.us. Reach out. We'd love to start a conversation with you. And hey, thanks for watching.